Hi, I'm Gary.
Hello, I'm Leon, the grandfather.
And we are Gary and...
The grandfather.
Good job! Wow!
You notice I'm looking stern today? Do you know that? You see the eyes? I'm looking really stern. You know why?
Why?
I need a vacation.
Well, I was just going to comment something about a vacation.
Yeah?
But what I was going to say is, the time before that, when we met up and we chatted, your response time, and I am, who am I again? That I thought maybe because you had a vacation, that was really helping you out.
I see.
Yeah,
So,
I thought maybe all that rest and...
that rest and that relaxation.
Yeah.
Girls on the beach, right?
so I thought you had already had a vacation.
Yeah.
I thought you were looking good.
You know the last time I was home to Canada? 3 years. Coming up to 3 years.
3 years?
3 years I haven't seen my mother. Yeah, amazing. Long time. But, do you like vacations?
Yeah, I like vacations. Who doesn't?
Well, yeah, I know, but I was thinking the other day, why do I like a vacation? Why? And I think I like a vacation. First of all, I think there's two types of vacations, Gary. One is if you will, an intellectual vacation, right? Like you're going to have a project, you're going to learn something, right? That's a vacation, intellectually. And the other is the physical vacation, right? You're going to go on a trip. And if you're going on a trip, I think there's three aspects to the vacation. The first is the idea, where am I going?
Okay.
Right? Where am I going? Am I going to Poland? Am I going to the south of France? Am I going to India? And where am I going? So that's conceptualizing the plan. Takes time. Very exciting, right? Then you gotta go and get serious. You gotta actually organize the trip. Gotta put the money together, that. Gotta get the clothes together. Gotta get the suitcase together. The whole thing, and buy the ticket, and you go on the vacation, right? Second. And then you come home, and then you unpack the trip. The things you've learned, the luggage you lost, the adventures you had, the loves you made or didn't make, or whatever it is, right? So those three aspects, I think, make the physical vacation, right? Now, if you will, the intellectual vacation, let's say I'm going to learn something, right? I also have to conceptualize it. I also then have to actually begin to do it. And then when I'm finished the class, I have to reflect, right? So I think both, be it intellectual or physical, these are really exciting times, the vacation, right? You can hear the elevation in my voice even, I find it really fascinating. How about you? What do you think?
Well, I think for me, something important with vacations is it gives you a chance to reflect upon yourself. Especially if you're a guy like me, that, ladies who are out there watching this, yeah, I'm still on the market if you're interested. But I don't know why you're laughing.
With the violin.
But anyways, it gives me a chance to reflect upon.
I'm on the market too, by the way. I'm on the market.
We'll see who gets more takers. How about that? You can post down below in your comments. Gary or the grandfather.
The grandfather has more experience. There we are.
But
Funny.
But yeah, I think that, as I was saying, something I like is it allows you to reflect upon yourself if you're traveling by yourself on your holiday.
For sure.
So, for me personally,
yeah,
when I go on vacation, of course, I enjoy going on vacation with my family, of course. But on other times, I enjoy just going by myself or with my brothers, another
enjoyable. I bet that's nice.
Option.
Yeah.
Because he and I kind of get along really well to the point where we can get up to all kinds of trouble and stuff, and we don't have to it's just a different kind of experience than when you go with, you know, your whole family,
For sure.
or
For sure.
with even sometimes when you go with a spouse or with some friends or whoever,
It doesn't quite
it
work.
doesn't quite click.
Yeah, I know.
Choosing your travel partner is
Big
important.
deal. Big deal.
But
Big deal.
if I travel by myself, for example,
Mm.
you know, I can go hiking in the mountains, hopefully not get lost. But it
That
opens,
time in Germany, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. It was when I was in Luxembourg, but
Luxembourg.
I was studying in Germany.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the vacation allows me to think about things that are going on in my life.
Mm.
You know, it's kind of like going on a retreat or something. You know,
Absolutely.
escaping from your daily routines, your daily life. And sometimes I think just by doing that and leaving those things for a week or 2 weeks,
Mm.
especially if there is something or several things in your
Personal life.
personal life that you're just not sure of
Yeah. Well said.
or you're not happy about, this can give you time to reflect. Maybe you'll meet some people and talk to some people, or you'll discover a new activity that you've never tried before, or a new food, and it can put the interest, spark back in your life. Or maybe just one day as you're on holiday, vacation, you realize, hey, I'm really happy now. I'm not happy with what I'm doing currently in my life and my job. Now, since I recognize that I'm not happy with that, but I'm happy doing on my holiday, what can I do to change
Ab-
my
ab-
life here and now?
Absolutely. You raise a really good point, you know, because I think that, like, increasingly, because we're all so really so busy with the cell phone and what have you,
Yeah.
you know, is that we don't realize the power of thought. Just thinking, just reflecting what's going on, where I am. You know what I've begun to do? In my phone every day I set it for 12:30,
Mhm.
just to remind me, where am I right now? What's going on right now? At 12:30 every day. The day I was out and about. The other day I was in a church. The other day I was in a restaurant. But it reminds me that each and every day is precious in that sense. And I think a vacation does that. You know, I had this old friend, in Canada. His name's Keith, and
Yeah.
we've been friends for 50 years.
Mhm.
When he's 91, when he was 85, he bought a ticket on his own, flew to Istanbul, and
Oh,
lived
wow.
in a hotel in Istanbul for a month. Yeah, on his own.
Wow.
On his own, just bought the ticket there to the hotel, and then from the hotel he reconnoitered Istanbul, and then he did a tour of Cappadocia and went down along the
No
coast.
way.
Yeah, his family was horrified.
Well, that's.
80
I like that. That's
85.
really cool.
I mean that's an interesting
Wow.
trip in that sense. Just
Yeah.
but you need a pin. I always think if you have a pin of safety, I'm going to stay at this hotel in Paris or in
Mhm.
Berlin or in Oslo or God knows
Yeah.
where, right? And then from there you can expand outwards. I don't
Mhm.
like these personally. I don't like the tours. You know.
I totally agree.
Well, maybe if you go to some dangerous places, like maybe South Africa, I don't think I'd go alone any longer. I've been, but I would alone with a friend of mine, but I wouldn't go now, I don't think. I wouldn't go to Egypt, I don't think, alone. I would go on a tour. I
Well,
think so.
I was going to say,
But most,
some places, if I had friends,
yeah.
quality friends, the people who, not just acquaintances, but people that I trust and have known for a long time,
Yeah.
and they live, and they're from those countries,
Yeah, then you stay with them.
then you stay with them,
Yeah,
they show you around,
that's right.
and I'd be fine with that.
Sure, me too.
But
Airbnb, yeah, like that.
yeah, something kind of like that. You have to be people that I trust, that I know. But for countries, like you said, some countries which are a bit, you know, I dangerous, or maybe not even dangerous, just
Unsettled.
unsettled. Yeah, something like that. Some countries like that, I would stick to tours as well, because you never know
Yeah,
you don't want to end up in the wrong place
at the right time.
at the right time. Yeah, you don't want to, and
No, for sure.
especially some poor countries, for example. I'm thinking
Yeah.
where if they look at you, I'll never forget. Many years ago, maybe 12 years ago, I was looking to go to South America to work,
Yeah.
and I was talking to my Spanish professor. He's a man from Colombia. We got on really well, very nice man.
Yeah.
Funny guy.
Yeah.
Quite liked him. And actually, we're still in touch to this day.
Wow, fantastic.
But he contacted some friends of his who were working at the university in Colombia, and he was trying to help me get a job there, but it didn't work out.
Yeah.
But one of the things he was saying to me is we were talking about this, because of course my parents, they were not happy about this choice. They said, Colombia, that's from their perspective, this was not a good choice at all.
Yeah.
And my friend had said to me, he said, well, the thing is, you got to keep in mind, he said, don't be shoving your money in other people's faces,
Yeah.
dress, modestly.
No.
He said, yeah, none of that.
None of
And
that.
he said that the bigger thing to keep in mind, so I've never forgot, he said, you're just a student now. He said, I know you're not rich. But he said, compared to some people in some parts of the world,
You're already really rich.
that $10 that you have in your wallet, that makes you rich if it's buying, half a week's worth of dinners or lunches or whatever, compared to the next guy.
Yeah.
There's nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My friend of mine, she went to Madagascar, and right at the airport, right in the airport, this kid, she had a little tiny gold necklace, just a little chain, and this kid in the airport just off, gone. Yeah, that's something. Right at the airport. She said it was just horrified. She was horrified. Half the people didn't have shoes. She said it was really an eye opener, right? Yeah. Tell me about the airplane. You like airplanes or boats? Which one?
I'd
I like, yeah. Tough
you,
one,
you, you say boats, you mean
yeah, like ships. You've gone on vacation.
the
I was
cruise
at-
ships. Or,
Cruise ship. I always had this romantic view. I was looking on the internet once, and you can actually get a container ship. They have rooms on a container ship, and you can go from Southampton all the way to Shanghai.
well, I'm not sure I'd want to do it on a container ship.
No, they give you rooms, right? They have staterooms for just for guests. They take 4 guests or something, right? On these ships, you dine with the captain, and yeah.
Well, that might be interesting. That might be fun.
Yeah, and you just get off where you want. It's apparently a huge business.
Really?
They go to all these ports, and the ports are clearly annotated. And you just say, I'm going here. You get off there. You get over there. You get picked up there, and yeah.
Well, cruises. I quite like cruises. Have you been on cruises before?
Honestly, never, but a little bit, maybe, but nothing to speak of. You been on a
Yeah,
cruise?
I've been on several. Yeah.
Yeah, where'd you, up to Alaska that time, right?
Yeah,
From
up
where-
around Alaska.
Where'd you go from? Where?
Oh,
San Diego?
no, I flew up to Alaska.
Yeah, we flew up.
And then we took a cruise around Alaska. I think our
Wow.
last stop was in your neck of the woods, around
Wow.
Vancouver.
Really?
Yeah.
And you came home from Vancouver?
I really can't remember. But yeah,
Maybe.
we
But nice, eh?
yeah,
Four,
it was
4 days on the boat?
it was about a week on the boat, a week on land.
Okay.
It was really nice. It's
Yeah.
very interesting.
Yeah, beautiful scenery. I'm
And
sure.
yeah, we did one in Hawaii. It's my
Oh.
family and I.
Lovely.
And my for several years, my parents and my brother and I, we did cruises down the Caribbean. It's
Wow.
quite popular for
Yeah,
Americans,
yeah, yeah.
and I quite like it. It's really it's relaxed. You always get to have a really nice meal, and the service is really top notch.
Yeah,
And you get to see some islands and
yeah.
see things, but it's a totally different experience from if you're doing it on your own. Just different experiences.
Yeah, yeah.
But airplanes as just as a means of travel
From A to B.
from A to B. No, I don't like airplanes.
You don't, eh?
It's I think I wish I was alive and flying on planes back in the day,
Yeah.
because I think back in the day It must have been fantastic.
Yeah, it was.
But
Yeah.
I'm from the era, you know, where
Packed in like a sardine.
packed in like a sardine.
Yeah.
You have to go through security, and you
Yeah.
got put your arms up and do this and turn around and spin. And you got to take your
Hat off.
hat off and your shoes off, and then
Yeah.
got
Yeah.
to take the battery out of your computer and open this and
And you always almost miss the airplane, right?
Yeah.
It takes so darn long.
yeah, the
And-
whole
and-
thing.
And you got a bottle of water that's oversized by accident. Yeah, big hassle. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, that's just miserable.
I was reading the other day about the Boeing had essentially a flying boat, right? And it would take 2 days to go between London and Hanoi, right? And they would just 100 or 200 meters off the water, and they would take 70, 80 passengers, 5-star dinners. You slept on this flying boat,
Yeah.
and they phased them out just at the end of the war, but apparently they were just fantastic.
Oh,
Right. With my preferred mode of travel, trains.
Well, that's why that's scary. I hate to say we think alike on this. I
Trains.
like trains too. I
do.
love
Yeah.
trains.
You can sleep better.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
You can sleep better, and they're great adventures.
Oh,
Great
for
adventures.
sure.
You know the big one. The big one is you fly to Shanghai, Shanghai up to Beijing, Beijing over the mountains to Mongolia, Ulaanbaatar,
Bator,
and then
yeah.
across over into Russia, Irkutsk in that area someplace, and then up to Moscow, St. Petersburg, and then fly home. Great trip.
Have you done it?
No, but I've done it here.
That's it.
I've done it here about 5 times. It'd be fantastic. The only thing I would be bothered by myself, the minute you crossed into Russia, you would have some people with you, and they would give you a shot of vodka, and I don't drink. So,
So that's the problem. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because people would be offended.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
would
I
for
know,
sure. I don't drink. Why not? You don't want to drink with us, or you just don't drink? No, I don't drink in general.
Yeah.
I don't believe you. No, it's true. Try a small one. No, I'm fine. Really, try a small shot. No, thank you. Try a small shot. And I just don't think I want the hassle.
Yeah,
And
sure.
I've people have told me this, that in some cultures, like, it's rude not to have a bit of alcohol.
Yeah.
Right. But I don't want it, and it just doesn't interest me anymore. Right. Gone.
But
Right.
yeah, that's
Vacation.
well, that's the with trains. That's
Yeah.
that's
Fantastic.
Yeah, I love trains.
Yeah.
Well, the way I always say it to people, because sometimes I've been to some places, some cities where maybe they have a subway system, and then they have a bus system as well for transportation, or maybe they have a bus system but they don't have a proper subway system or whatever because they don't want to pay the money if bus system's cheaper and, all that stuff. And then they wonder why people aren't taking the overcrowded buses that get caught up in traffic. Why people like trains. And I just said, well, think about this. As a boy, how many children, I know in my boyhood, my brother and I, we loved trains. Even in our part of the States, for my parents, it was dreadful, but for us, if they're driving the car and we get to the train crossing and we see the lights are flashing, we get excited because
Absolutely.
we're going to see a train go by. Usually a freight train, whatever, but we're excited.
Yeah.
And how many children do you know who have said, oh, when I grow up, I'd like to be a bus driver?
Yeah, really.
Now contrast that with, yeah, I'd like to be a train conductor.
Absolutely.
I mean,
that's true.
That's night and day. The trains, yeah, number one.
What I've found about the dining cars, it's a little different now, over time. But the dining cars used to be. I've been on the Orient Express, believe it or not.
Have you?
It went but I caught the line from Budapest, from Hungary to Paris. It was one of the last times. It really was called the Orient Express, and now once again it's running from London. It's a 5-star service, right? But Agatha Christie and all
Yeah,
that.
yeah, I know, I know.
Yeah, but yeah, the dining car is what I remember. I went to a Minsk, came back from Minsk, Belarus, Minsk back to Warsaw on the train, and we had. I remember, Gary, if I could tell you a funny story, I ground this woman. It's all fraudulent. I ground this woman, so it was so the tickets were for I think 6 of us. We paid $100, nothing, $100, and then we had dinner. Guess how much dinner was? $100. Outrageous price for dinner. Outrageous. I mean, that was just a long time ago. It was a lot of money. So we paid the price. But it was all linen. It was all, even though it was in Belarus, and it was still all linen tablecloths and napkins and the tables in white. And yeah, it's really classy, like almost like old imperial Russia in its own way. So I think, I think if you had a choice between the bus, the plane, or the train, I think we would all take the train.
The train,
for sure.
For sure.
Because you feel like a gentleman, don't you? Really, getting on or off the train, you got your luggage, somebody to talk to,
Yeah.
right? And the the airplane, what I really enjoy. I'm not very big, right? But I really enjoy. I sit beside this guy, and he's got. He's just like he's huge, and he's got this little seat, He's sitting like this, right? About 2 meters tall, right? And I'm in the seat, kind of like. How are you? I just love flying on airplanes. How about you? And the guy just said, "Will you want to change? Can I have the aisle?" Sorry, I can't change. It's my legs. And so the poor bugger sits here. I've done this more. Forgive me.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah,
that's terrible.
If you're big, don't fly. Because the seats are the same size as for me.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're a big person, those little seats are useless.
Mm.
Yeah. Gosh.
Well, I always, with flying again, it's really great because you can see the psychology of somebody's mind.
Yeah.
Because with reclining or not, like you'll see some people that they'll come in as soon as they sit down, like full way back, the whole way back.
Yeah.
And then there's others who'll do like the partial recline.
Yeah.
And then there's the people who won't do it at all.
And then the stewardess has to come and ask them, and they're resentful.
Yeah.
Pull it up. May I tell you we always say in English we should only ask the weather, sports, and traffic, right? In small talk, we learn this, right? The weather, sports, and traffic. One time I got on an airplane and I was late. I was the last person on the airplane. Literally, they were closing the door.
Yeah.
And I sat down beside this huge woman. Huge. And I said to her, I'm a little nervous. "How are you today?" And she said, "I'm fine as soon as I feed this." This little guy jumped up on my shoulder and goes, "Ask her, Leon, ask her."
Oh no.
Leon,
No,
don't ask.
No,
Don't
no,
ask.
no, no, no.
Ask her. Don't ask her. Finally. "So, when are you having your baby?"
Oh no.
And I was serious. That woman just exploded.
Oh
She was
no.
so angry. "Oh, I'm not having a baby." And then I realized her girlfriend was beside her. She also was.
Oh
big as a house.
no, don't say that. Oh no.
But it gets better. She fell asleep. Very long flight. Pardon me. She fell asleep, so she fell on my shoulder, and she slowly pushes me out into the aisle like this. So people were walking by all night going, boom, wake up, boom, didn't sleep at all.
See, that was your penance for
I've never asked
for asking.
I've never asked a person again in my life that type of personal question. Never.
Yeah.
They have to tell me, "I'm pregnant," Really? I didn't know.
Oh, that's
I never asked, never.
Oh, yeah,
So-
yeah, yeah.
so-
That's oh.
So that's the first rule of
that
a
was a
vacation.
rookie mistake.
Yeah.
Very rookie mistake.
That's the first rule of a vacation. Keep this closed. Don't ask.
Well, when we're talking about rules and vacations, actually, I used to work in a touristy area
Yeah.
back in the States.
Yeah.
Small town related to the American Civil War.
Okay.
And I used to work in the visitor center there. And something that you'd always see is people, families, husbands, wives, whoever, middle of summer, sweating like pigs, come in, just barking off commands, go to the bathroom. I thought this book was broken. Or, not book, but, it's not broken, but there's something wrong with it.
Yeah, for sure.
I want to return it.
Yeah.
And, how are you today, sir?
You do that well.
What for? Yeah.
Yeah.
And they'd always just be in such an awful mood. Sometimes,
Yeah.
if we we always had to keep our cool, we're just, like 18, 19-year-olds
Yeah.
ringing up the books into whatever we're selling and
Yeah.
putting them in the back.
Yeah.
But sometimes, because of our attitude, we always try to be friendly. Sometimes we'd win them over.
Yeah.
And they'd leave with a smile.
Yeah. What was their problem?
Some of them
Just unhappy.
I'd
Too
say
hot.
some of them, it's the weather.
Yeah. Is it hot there? Hot?
In the summertime, yeah, maybe it'd be hot, yeah. But sometimes I think the problem would be they'd just be hot because of the weather. We're tired. They've been up all morning, coming in around noontime or whatever, hungry. But I think the biggest problem, it goes back to something you said very early on about vacations and planning it in your mind.
Yeah.
And I think the problem is, for a lot of people,
They don't plan.
families, no, they do plan. But as soon as something goes slightly off compared to how they planned it, so they get lost, or they take a tour of some place but they don't enjoy it because, this or that, they felt disappointed, or they ate lunch at the restaurant and it's not as good as they thought it would be, or maybe their kid, their 5-year-old kid peed his pants and they had to spend the next hour or two trying to track down a Walmart to buy clothes,
Yeah.
so they had to cancel this or that.
Yeah. And all these things.
All these things
Yeah.
that, in the grand scheme of things
Are not
of
important.
life, it's not important.
But it is right then.
But when it happens during their vacation that they've been planning for months and saving money for months and mentally thinking about and dreaming about for months, and then when it doesn't meet those unrealistic expectations,
They get upset.
things go sideways.
Yeah.
They're quick to get angry
Yeah.
and upset
Yeah.
and frustrated.
And then it's not really a vacation, is it?
Well,
any longer. Yeah.
But this is a pattern I'd see.
Yeah.
For it's not just an isolated thing. You'd see so many people who are on their holiday, their vacation,
Unhappy.
unhappy, frustrated, fed up, pissed off because somebody cut them off in
Yeah.
traffic,
Whatever.
something like that. And well, sometimes if we were talking with them, it would kind of get them back into
Mode. Yeah.
the mode.
Yeah.
Other times they were too far gone.
Gone. Yeah. Yeah.
Just maybe it depends on personality, but
I had this leather bag that I cherished, and it got faded, and I tore the strap. So I sent it expensive. So I sent it away to a shop. They repaired it, looked brand new. The strap, I took it on my vacation to Spain, and I'm in Barcelona. Seeing one of my sons was attending a trade show there, and by the grace of God, there's nothing in the bag. I got everything. My passport's, of course, never in my bag. Never leave your passport in your bag, by the way, ever in the pocket, or even closer. But so I'm in the bus. I'm in the bus station in Barcelona. My bag is on my feet. I look up. I look down. I look up. I look down. I look up. I look down. My bag's gone. True story. Gone. And I went to the police inside the train station. I think train station. I went to speak to the police, and they couldn't speak any English or French. They only spoke Spanish and Catalan. And I said my bag's been stolen, and they started to laugh. They laughed like idiot, idioto, idioto. So, you know, like, don't you have your bags? I guess there's so much theft in Barcelona because you have the big trade shows there, right? You're just going blind, stealing what you can. And I was just caught up in that. But after I lost that bag, it kind of really put it in perspective. It's just things, right? But you still got to be careful, right?
Well,
got to guard yourself.
You know, I'll contrast that one with a more positive one, related with.
You found my bag and give it back.
No.
Right.
But
give it back. I'm waiting.
But well, I'll contrast it, and then I guess our time's about up.
Yeah.
So I'll give you the last word. Then how about that?
No, wait. I want to hear the story.
No, I'll tell the story, and then
okay.
I'll give you the last word.
Okay.
All right. I have to over-explain things to him. Jeez. Anyway, he's just thinking about his bag. He lost 50 years ago.
Yeah.
But anyways.
20 years ago, not 50.
Well, 50 is the new man's, the 20, 50. Well, anyways, so back when I was working at the same shop in the visitor center, we used to have this presentation we'd have to do for something called the electric map.
Okay.
And you go back, there's this big map in the stadium, and they used to narrate it. A speaker would go in and narrate it. By in person.
Okay.
But then over the years, they just recorded it, and all you'd have to do is just press a button.
Okay.
And
yeah.
there it would be.
Okay.
So again, us 18, 19-year-old grunts.
Yeah. This is a map of the battle.
Yeah, it had lights that would light up.
Okay.
And
okay.
This guy with that classic academic, the academic voice,
Yeah.
scholarly voice, he would just be saying,
lovely.
And then from the north come blah 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 on this day, and then so and so came from the right. But the anyways, one time during my shift to be back there, because on our schedule we'd usually go back twice a day.
Okay.
We'd rotate. Everybody get a turn once in the morning, once in the afternoon. Everyone wanted to be back there because you pressed the button, then you had half an hour just to sit there and read or, relax. Away from the customers, the crowds. So I went back there the one day, pressed it, and then it works, it finishes, and then the my colleague is a woman named Jessie, a girl, and she comes over. I think she was 17. She was a few years younger than us. I think she was still in high school. She came back, and we were talking, and whatever, and then I saw a purse there, sitting back there. I thought it was hers. I never even thought about what 17-year-old girl is gonna be having this old fashioned purse. But
it was a lady.
I said, Jess, that's your purse. And she said, no, it's not. I said, yeah, it is. I said, well, let's see what's inside. Just being a jerk.
Yeah.
So I started opening it. Well, it wasn't hers. Obviously, it wasn't mine.
Well.
But whose was it?
Yeah.
And we saw there was about $500 US cash.
Wow, a lot of money.
Right there.
A lot of money.
And for us, 17-year-old, 19-year-old, it's a lot
of
money.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
And so we looked at it and said, oh, it's not mine, it's not yours, whose is it? So we took you into the office. The office. And then this was maybe around 11:30.
Yeah.
The afternoon.
Yeah.
A woman comes in.
Yeah.
I never even got to meet her.
Yeah. It was hers.
But she stopped in to ask somebody, and the office had it.
Yeah.
It was hers. She was surprised that the money was still there. It wasn't stolen.
Wow.
And
wow.
That was their vacation fund for whatever.
Wow.
And being a touristy area, of course,
Made you feel.
it's got to be the person's vacation fund or whatever.
But it made you feel good.
But yeah, of course, you just thought it's not. If we would have, we're honest people,
Sure. No,
But-
of course.
If you would have taken that, even despite the fact that, in her age, I don't know her living situation at all, but we were just students,
Yeah.
so the money was probably meant more to us than to her, quite possibly. But at the same time,
Yeah, the evil action creates
The evil
karma.
action-
Karma.
but even beyond that, it just would have been devastating to somebody's vacation.
For sure.
Completely ruined their vacation,
Yeah.
and for what?
Yeah.
You
For
know,
sure.
for
For
what?
sure. Yeah. Finish with the story. I was watching a program on Las Vegas,
Mhm.
right? And supposedly Las Vegas, from a tourist perspective, is the safest place in the States. And they were showing how this woman was gambling and she forgot her purse and she left. And about 2 minutes later, the guy's walking around, sees the purse, steals the purse. And they tracked him out of that one casino to another casino, to another casino, to another casino, and then they caught him. They caught him and charged him with theft, of course. And she got it's not all her money, but I think everything was covered by insurance anyhow. But it showed you how you weren't going to steal something in Las Vegas.
Is it because the cameras?
Cameras everywhere.
Yeah.
But they tracked him through 5 casinos, basically. So I thought it was really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like when my son got robbed in London, he was robbed in London, and the police had arrested the 3 gangsters within 8 minutes. Got his watch back, everything. 8 minutes, right?
Yeah.
And they got 8 to 10 years. Ouch. So they had other crimes, I suppose. So. But that's her, sir.
Well, I guess they're having a vacation too, a nice long.
How
Maybe
was-
not nice, but
How was your vacation? Not bad. Not bad. How come you didn't get a tan? I don't like the sun.
yeah, well, yeah, this man here, I need a vacation.
Yeah,
so
I do
Gary
too.
out.
Yeah. The grandfather out. Bye bye.
Bye.